Have you ever had a crush on someone and desperately wanted to start talking with them? But you also felt terrified to take those first few steps. Why is it so hard to gather the courage to talk to your crush? The fear of rejection stops us in our tracks. But should it? When you really think about it, the idea of rejection tends to be scarier than the actual rejection itself. And yet, it doesn't make talking to your crush any easier. So, how can you overcome that fear? You first need to give yourself a mindset of abundance. You have an abundance of value, an abundance of interesting things to say, and abundance of self-worth and confidence that your crush admires. We are afraid of rejections because we think we are not good enough or smart or funny. We just don't think we are enough. But when you switch your mindset to one of abundance, that fear dissolves. You don't worry about rejection because there is an abundance of people out there. You don't worry about running out of things to say because you have all sorts of thoughts and opinions about the world. You'll always have something to talk about. You have an abundance of things to learn from the other person. So it's exciting to go up and talk to them rather than getting nervous about it. Your mind is almost always your biggest obstacle. Don't listen to the nagging voice that tells you no, because it will bring you down at every opportunity you allow it. Push that negativity to the side. And tell yourself, please, I have interesting thoughts and opinions to share even if this person doesn't appreciate them. There are plenty of people who do. The next step is to start talking to your crush. You might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, you must have skipped a step. But hear me out. Besides fear, another reason you don't walk up and say hi is because of inertia. The habit of saying hello to a stranger or to someone you like is not an automatic reaction, and it is. Your brain is creating a roadblock to prevent you from doing something new or scary, like talking to the person you like. So build up that habit of talking to people, especially if you're nervous. I have a friend who's practically fearless of walking up and talking to girls. I asked him how he is able to do it so casually, and he told me that every time he sees someone interesting, he immediately walks over to them without even thinking about it. He has done it so many times, it's automatic for him now. He doesn't always know what to say, but he knows that the longer he takes thinking about it, the more difficult it gets to overcome that inertia. I think this is an excellent lesson to learn if there is someone you like or someone you think is pretty or cool looking. Do not give yourself time to think too much about it. If you do, you'll likely come up with an excuse not to talk to them. Just start walking over to them and you'll find your brain will quickly adapt to your actions and come up with something to say. It's sort of like jumping off a cliff into the ocean. The longer you stare down at the drop, the more you think about how high up you are and the more likely you'll back out. However, if you don't give yourself any time to think about it and dive right in, you quickly learn that it is a little scary, but it is also exhilarating and you may just start climbing back up to do it again in no time. This is all to develop your self-esteem and keep you motivated. Motivation is something we talk about a lot to get motivated. And that's because it is so essential to become your best self and attracting awesome people. You are an interesting person with valuable things to share with others, but you have to believe yourself first. Before you can convince anyone else to do it, it is important you believe yourself. If you're nervous and don't have much experience putting yourself out there, take a week or two to practice. First, say hello to a person on your commute. Ask the cashier how their day is going. Start a conversation with someone in a coffee shop. In fact, I dare you to say hello to at least one stranger you see today, just to try it out. Social skills are like a muscle, so the more you practice, the better you get, and then of course, the better you get talking with people. The more your confidence will grow, so go ahead and practice a few times and then go talk to your crush. And this is how you talk to your crush. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and press the bell icon. Bye-bye.